It only takes a moment. 1 second, everything is normal. The next, everything changes. There is no warning, no signal, no countdown, just a sudden shift from life to silence. In the United States, cardiac arrest happens hundreds of thousands of times every year. It is one of the most time-sensitive medical emergencies known. When the heart stops, the body begins to shut down. Oxygen no longer reaches the brain. Organs begin to fail. And within minutes, the line between life and death becomes dangerously thin. But what if that line isn't as final as we believe? It was early morning in Ohio. The house was quiet. Still. The kind of quiet that feels safe. Inside, a man named Anthony Yahle lay in bed. His breathing had become irregular, strange, unusual. His family noticed something was wrong.
Honey, wake up. Brother, can you hear us?
Wake up, son.
He's not responding.
They tried to wake him. He didn't respond. Moments later, he stopped breathing. Panic took over. Emergency services were called immediately.
Yes.
When paramedics arrived, they found him unresponsive. No pulse, no sign of life. They began CPR instantly, because in cases like this, every second matters. Chest compressions, airway support, repeated attempts to restart the heart. This is the moment where medicine fights death directly. And sometimes it wins. But not always. Anthony was rushed to the hospital.
Continue compressions.
Doctors continued resuscitation efforts.
Administer another dose of epi.
More interventions. More attempts. More time passing. But there was no response. After nearly 45 minutes of continuous effort and no heartbeat, no breathing. And eventually, the moment came. The doctors stopped. The machines were silent. The room grew still. Anthony Yahle was pronounced dead. For the medical team, this was a familiar conclusion. A tragic one, but not uncommon. For his family, it was something else entirely. Shock, grief, disbelief. His son arrived shortly after, still trying to process what had happened, still trying to accept it. But something didn't feel right. As his son stood beside him, he looked at the monitor, and what he saw should not have been possible. There was a signal, a heartbeat, faint but real. At first he thought he was mistaken. But then it became clear. Anthony Yahle was alive. Doctors rushed back in. Machines were reconnected, and what had just been declared final was no longer final. This event is known in medicine as the Lazarus phenomenon, a rare and a mysterious occurrence. In a rare occurrence, a person's heart began beating again after resuscitation had stopped. This is not common. In fact, it is extremely rare. And yet, it happens. Sometimes minutes after death is declared, sometimes longer. No one fully understands why. Anthony Yahle survived. Velma Thomas survived. Others did not. But all of their stories share something in common. They remind us that certainty is not always certain. That even in the most controlled environments, there are moments that defy explanation. And that sometimes what we believe is the end is not the end at all. And in rare moments like this, life doesn't follow the rules. It writes its own ending.